Hari Om. Let us now continue from where we left. So, we were looking at the six modifications of the Sthula Shariram, namely Asti. Asti means potential existence. The first modification, Asti, is the potential existence of the baby in the mother's womb. Asti means existence. Asti means existence. Then the second modification of the body is Jayate. Jayate meaning birth. The birth of the baby. The second modification. Then the third modification is Vardhate. Vardhate or growth. The baby grows. Every mother wants her baby to grow, isn't it? This is the third modification. Then the fourth modification is called Viparinamate. Viparinamate or metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. The body continues to grow until the age of 16 or 17 when it reaches adulthood. Thereafter, the body stops to grow. It has to stop. Else, one cannot be accommodated. As an adult, the body undergoes various modifications called aging. If this is to be presented as a graph, there would be upward growth initially. Thereafter, the growth plateaus up to the 40th or 50th year, as the case may be. This will vary from individual to individual. This is the fourth modification. Then the fifth modification is called apakshiyate. Apakshiyate or declension or decay. The process of growing old or decay. In the graph, the plateau begins to move in a downward direction. So there's an upward path, then there's a plateau, and then a downward movement in the graph. So this apakshiyate is the fifth modification. Then the sixth and final modification is vinashyati. Vinashyati or death. Once the body is dead, it has to be disposed of. This is called maranam or nashaha. Maranam or nashaha. This then is the sixth modification. So, putting all these together, the body is subject to six modifications. In Sanskrit, Shad Vikaravat Shariram. Shad Vikaravat Shariram. This is one nature of the body. It changes. Change is one nature of the body. The second feature of the body is that it is tangible, both to oneself and to others. This is why it is termed gross body. So its second feature is its tangibility. Tangibility. It is tangible. Then, talking about the longevity of the body has a longevity between a few months to a maximum of 100 years or 120 years at the most. Well, we get to hear of people who live longer than 120 years, but that is a very rare happening. It cannot be extended beyond. Of course, exceptions are always there. These then are the four factors concerning the gross body. It is made of gross matter. It has four components. It serves as a temporary tenement or residence, and it is subject to change. So the material, the components, the function, and the nature of the Sthula Shariram or Sthula Deha have been discussed. The word Shariram in Sanskrit is derived as Shiryamana Swabhavam. Shiryamana Swabhavam. That which is subject to constant change and decay. The word Deha too in Sanskrit means the body. It is derived from the word Dih. Upachaya, apachaye, Dih. That which is subject to expansion and contraction. This then is the first body, the gross body, or Sthula Shariram in Sanskrit. We saw that Sthula Shariram is also called Sthula Deha. We will now study the Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Shariram or the subtle body. We will take up the four factors of the Sukshma Shariram or subtle body in the same order that we studied the Sthula Shariram or the gross body. The first factor is the raw material from which the Sukshma Shariram is made, or what makes up the Sukshma Shariram. Our scriptures point out that the subtle body is born out of subtle matter, which consists of the five subtle elements. Just as there are the gross five elements, that is the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jalam, and Prithvi, there are subtle five elements known as Sukshma Bhutani. In the case of the Sthula Shariram, it was Sthula Bhutani. In the case of the subtle body or Sukshma Shariram, they are called the Sukshma Bhutani. And what are the subtle five elements? They are the same as those that compose the Sthula Shariram. The only difference is that they are subtle elements. Subtle space, subtle air, subtle fire, subtle water, and subtle earth. The Sukshma Shariram is made of subtle matter. Therefore, the subtle body is also a Bhautika Shariram. Bhautika Shariram. These are the technical terms that we need to register in our minds. Swamiji is very beautifully laying the foundation through these topics. The Paribhasha Shabdaha, the technical terms. So the subtle body is also a Bhautika Shariram. It is a material body. It is material in nature, being made up of the five subtle elements, which are material in nature. Then we move on to the components, which is the second topic. The scriptures point out that the subtle body is composed of 19 components. Very unique to our scriptures, this kind of classification. Like we saw in the case of the Sthula Shariram, is made up of 4 components. Here, the Sukshma Shariram is made up of 19 components. There is one component for each instrument of transaction. The gross body is akin to an office, isn't it? It is a place where I work. Well, work has to be done only when there are instruments of transaction available. And our Shastras say there are 19 instruments that we use. And what are they? Well, we will broadly list out the elements or the components, and then we will go into the details in the forthcoming capsules. So they are the Pancha Jnana Indriyani, Pancha Jnana Indriyani. Then we have the Pancha Karma Indriyani, which total putting these two together a total of 10 Pancha Karma Indriyani. Then we have Pancha Pranaha, the five vital breaths, pancha pranaha. Then we have four more components which are called manaha, buddhihi, chittaha, chittam, and ahankaraha. Manaha, buddhi, chittam, and ahankaraha. We will look into the details in the forthcoming capsules. Hari Om. Om Durjana Sajjano Bhuyad Sajjana Shantimapnuyad Shanto Muccheta Bandhebhyah Muktaschanyan Vimochayet Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ